Hey, what's up, y'all? So I got a clip for y'all, and it's Stephen A. Smith, and he's going in when it comes to LeBron James and his son, because LeBron's son is declaring for the draft. So make sure to check this clip out.
The James family. This one involves his son, however, Mr. Bronny himself, who may be entering the transfer portal after 1 year at USC. Rumors of the move started after former head coach Andy Enfield left the program to take the head coaching job at SMU. LeBron offered his thoughts last night, saying Bronny has some tough decisions coming up and that the family will support him no matter what he decides. I love that by LeBron James, no doubt. Great father, great family man. Like I told you before, my opinions about him in the fourth quarter of 2011 NBA Finals has nothing to do with what I think about him as an overall player and as a role model and as a man and as a family man, businessman, and everything else in between. In this particular situation, Bronny's got a lot to prove. There's really no way around it. We can slice it any way we want to, but he's got a lot to prove. Because when you look at Bronny James, in his freshman year at USC coming off the bench, he averaged 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists across 25 games, including 6 starts, averaging 19.4 minutes per game. He shot 36% from the field, 26% from three-point range, scored in double figures 3 times in the 25 games he played. There's a lot of pressure on this young man. He had health issues that we can't ignore either. It was a miracle seeing him on the basketball court, and I'm so happy to see him pursuing his dream. Good kid. No doubt about it. Should he transfer or not? People making a big deal out of it. Hey, the transfer portal is there for a reason. If he wants to go elsewhere, let him go elsewhere. That's his business. Matter of fact, it might behoove him to get away from California because that's where his daddy plays. And as a result, it might come to the games, continue to bring more attention on him instead of him having the peace of mind to go someplace else where he could just work on his game, flourish without the pressure inordinately on his shoulders. I don't have a problem with it. What I'm more interested in knowing is where Bronny James will end up going if indeed he chooses to transfer. It should not be in the NBA. Because based on his resume in his first year in college, if he was to take his talents to the professional level, everybody will believe it's because of his dad. And that's not a good look for him. So I don't think he's going to do that, nor do I think he should. What I think he should do is find the right program to go to on a collegiate level and really hone his skills in, get that year, having that year under his belt, make sure his health is right so he can flourish. Because I think the kid's got some skills. I think he's got potential. But I also think we're wrong to just be talking about him. Something inside of me tells me we should be paying just as much attention to Bryce James, LeBron's other kid. I don't think we've mentioned him enough. Everything I'm hearing, that kid's got a lot of potential. I'm just saying.
I actually agree with Stephen A. Smith because Bronny, he has not proved himself yet. He has at least 2 years left until he may declare for the draft, if you ask me, because he's not at that point yet where he can really be in the NBA.
Well, Bronny James announced on Instagram that he will be entering the draft in just a few months. He's 18 years old. He'll also maintain his college eligibility and is expected to enter the transfer portal as well. So Eric Musselman, who was coaching at Arkansas, who's now the new coach of the USC Trojans, that Eric Musselman, should Bronny consider staying with him? I would think so. Andy Enfield, the former head coach of USC, took the SMU job. And so if you're Bronny, you're doing the transfer portal. And of course, it's obvious, hey, look, he's of the mindset that let me test the waters, see what they say about me. I had the heart condition. I came back from that. I played in about 25 games. I scored in double digits, 3 of those times. That was it. People are talking about his IQ, his athleticism, his defensive prowess. But obviously his game needs a lot of work. He averaged less than 5 points a game. And they keep it that simple. And they say there's nothing wrong with him exploring his options. And on its face, I agree with that. And I want to emphasize that although I can be critical of LeBron James from time to time, it's all within range. It's all within reason. It's about basketball. I don't attack the man. I don't attack the family man. I don't attack the father. I don't attack the husband. It's none of my business. And by all accounts, the guy seems to be a pretty incredible dad who loves his son. And so I say this with the level of sensitivity that it deserves. And I want to make sure everybody understands where I'm coming from when I talk about LeBron James and Bronny James in this regard. I root for the kid. I've never gone to see Bronny James play because I didn't want to judge him with a keen, critical eye, like I would any basketball player, because I think him being LeBron James' son, there's a level of expectation that gets heaped on his shoulders that I think is grotesquely unfair. But I also think that unfairness has been instigated to some degree by LeBron James, who's been on the record saying he wants to play with his son, who's been on the record saying he's willing to depart from whatever team he's playing for just to be there for his son and to play in the same uniform. And when you give that indication, one would argue that's why he could declare for the NBA draft, to see what level of interest he's going to have. But is the interest going to be there because of his game, or is it going to be there because of his daddy? LeBron James, I have no doubt, had no intentions of putting Bronny James in that situation. But there's no question that it plays a role. Most people who average 5 points a game in their first year in college after a health condition don't choose to enter the NBA draft. That just doesn't happen. Now, again, he's just experimenting, see how much he's worth, see what they're going to say about him, see where the interest is going to lie before he decides to transfer and go someplace else and he doesn't have to sit out. I get all of that. But please understand that the expectations are not going to change nor diminish in any way, because his father's LeBron James, and LeBron James has said he wants his son in the NBA no matter the cost. Had LeBron James not said that, although the pressure would still be on him, I'm not sure it would be to this degree. But he did say it, and it is on. So let's see how Bronny James handles it. Just the other night, LeBron James post-game said he's a young man, he's his own man, and he's going to make his decision himself, and we'll support whatever decision he wants to make. We'll see if that's the case. I have no doubt that it is. And I wish Bronny James nothing but the best. He's a great kid, by all accounts, and I'm rooting for him. I really, really hope that he ends up being good enough to go to the NBA. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about his little brother, Bryce, though.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So that was Stephen A. Smith. He decided to call out the James family because Bronny is about to declare for the draft. And Stephen A. Smith is saying that Bronny is not there yet. And Bronny is actually been going through it because everybody knows what happened last year with Bronny. There was an incident where they didn't know if he was going to make it. But luckily, he made it and he's here with us today. And I'm glad for that. But when it comes to basketball, we gotta be able to keep it real because Bronny, at the moment, he does not have it. He's not NBA caliber right now. That doesn't mean that he can become an NBA player in 2 years, but he averaged, I think it was like 7 or 8 points in high school, and that's not good at all. So, I actually want to know what y'all think about this, so make sure to like this video, subscribe, and watch next video. So, y'all.